Welcome to my fight show, Mika Frankl. Hope you all are having a lovely Tuesday night. And boy, do we have a packed show in store for you. Couldn't have a show with this much planned, with this much going on tonight, if it wasn't for the help of a bunch of great people behind the scenes. You're watching on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram. Appreciate it so much. All of you wonderful people who are watching, you like, you share, subscribe. That little bit extra goes a long way. The plan tonight is a big one. First guest who's going to be here just a moment. We got Santi Gonzalez at 6:15, Cristian Cabral planned for 6:30. Chelsea Dodson Power Slap preview, Power Slap 18 Friday night. Nick Gonzalez, we're giving him plenty of runway, nowhere to run. New Mexico Athletic Commission and a trio of fighters that he's working with. I think we need updates on. So a lot to talk about with Saint Nick, and James Romero is going to be coming through to give us his UFC 326 picks, predictions, best bets, helping me preview that one. Me and Michael Carlisle did do a partial preview talking about the biggest stories and headlines coming out of UFC Mexico City and heading into UFC 326. MMA After Hours is available, cageminds.com, wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all over the place. Same great places that you find this wonderful show, My Fight Show. A shout out to Ray Yee last week, coming on ESPN Radio Albuquerque 1017, the team being my guest on Cage Minds Fight Hour. The website has that episode available, Apple Podcast and Spotify. Robbie Ray Images, credit to him on the video, adding some little tricks and additions into what we're doing. Check it out, YouTube. We got to talk to Ray Yee, and this week we're going to dive even deeper into UFC 326. So the Mean Machine, Steve Garcia, is going to join me Saturday morning, ESPN Radio 1017, the team. And then you can hear that a little bit later and see it on YouTube, thanks to Robbie Ray. The hair is done by Barber Gabe's Fades. BarberGabesFades.net is where you find the Barbers R Us Beard Balm, hooking it up and taking care of keeping these wild whiskers in submission and in check. So shout out to the best beard balm with the cherry smell. You get on over to the location because walk-ins are welcome. Barber Gabe's Fades. It's 100 Coors Boulevard Northwest, Lobo Plaza, Suite 107. Robbie Ray Images, taking care of the promotions. You want to take your business's promotion to the next level? We're going to be able to do that with videos, with commercials, with all the add-ins you need. Robbie Ray Media can take care of you. You contact Robbie Ray through Facebook. Our first guest is going to be Santi Gonzalez. We've sent him an invite on his Instagram, so you should be able to open that and join the conversation here to be our first guest, answering Barber Gabe with that message in case they're watching. I believe they are. If he's ready, we're ready. Santi can jump in, and we're looking forward to talking to him. If he's not ready, we got a couple other news and notes that I want to touch on. Boxing has always been a sport that has brought a spectacle together. And May 23rd, this is definitely going to be a first. The Pyramids of Giza will host a WBC heavyweight showdown. Alexander Usyk, undisputed, lineal, undeniable, great heavyweight, one of the greatest cruiserweights of all time, not taking on the next mandatory, but giving an opportunity to an unknown in the boxing world, but not an unheralded in the combat sports world. Rico Verhoeven, instead of signing with the UFC and getting an opportunity at Derek Lewis, which had been rumored for earlier this year. I think that was actually part of the UFC 311 card. They were trying to make that fight. The undisputed heavyweight king of kickboxing with Glory Kickboxing is going to challenge for the undisputed heavyweight title in boxing. It's a ridiculous notion. Been a huge fan of Verhoeven. Well, this isn't as dynamically out there as an MMA fighter. There's still miles of difference between the footwork and the thought process of dealing with the jumping knees and the low kicks and trying to position yourself to be able to land a high kick and just overwhelming with offense. Kudos to Verhoeven for earning such an opportunity. He has carried kickboxing, carried the Glory promotion on his back for quite a while, and this is well deserved to be able to command the attention of somebody like Usyk. All the better for him. I don't know if this is going to be a great experience for him getting in there with an all-time great, but it's going to be worth the watch. Of all the spectacles that have been announced, and I think Floyd Mayweather at this time is sitting about 3 fights announced. 2 of them are exhibitions, but 3 fights announced in all. Athens, the Congo, and then going to the Spear. Pacquiao, Mike Tyson, Mike Zambitis. When you have Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, Rico Verhoeven, a heavyweight champion in kickboxing for over a decade, fighting Alexander Usyk, it does not hit on the same way in the name recognition for the casual combat sports fan. But for a hardcore, this is an appetizing spectacle because it's a spectacular. It's not the everyday boxing match. It is a little bit on the fringe, but it's close enough away from the fringe to react the skill, to respect the skills, the resume, the longevity, and the domination of a sport that Rico Verhoeven has had. April 17th, BKFC is returning to Denver, Colorado. Chris Camozzi, Esteban Mohawk Rodriguez, interim light heavyweight title fight. This comes off of Camozzi losing the title in a controversial split decision in October in Alessio Saccaro's backyard in Italy. It was highly disputed. Not sure where Saccaro is now in this equation, but Camozzi, an opportunity to get a belt back on his shoulder, and Mohawk Rodriguez, who had literally been chasing down this fight, even the 2 of them had been involved in a scuffle at Ice Wars, has put together 3 knockout victories in a row to really earn this title shot. Continuing with the BKFC news, doing something unique, doing something different, doing something original. Blood for Blood, May 4th, Rockville Festival in Daytona Beach. 4 bands, 4 fights. Slaughter to Prevail, Black Label Society, Malevolence, and Crowbar. Slaughter to Prevail frontman Alex the Terrible, a BK bare knuckle background. He has thrown down in Russian promotions. He's gotten into the promotion with the Haybals. He's went against a promotion head in RCC. Now gets his opportunity as using his influencership at BKFC, and he's going to be taking on Bull Rider, who we saw last Knuckle Mania, or actually, I believe Bull Rider, who we saw BKFC 76, my bad, make his debut in Texas, Cameron Delano. That one's a little bit interesting because you know that Alex the Terrible, really about this life, and Cameron Delano, a big boy who has put the punching power together. 6:15, our first guest, Santi Gonzalez, Reign of Champions, amateur MMA title fight, represents Sandoval Fight Systems. We're going to be talking to him in just a couple minutes. Continuing with the news, former one MMA flyweight champion Adriano Moraes and Karat Akhmedov are both free agents. Moraes famously going with his trilogy of fights against DJ, 21-6. Akhmedov, 28-2. Not to mention Australian Reese McLaren, record of 18-9. All have parted ways with one championship, so the ranks of the one flyweight division have greatly thinned. There were rumors of where the next DBX fight would be happening. DBX 6, April 10th, is going to be back in Miami. Main event, Rob the Wolfman, who's 3-0 in the promotion, taking on Michael Garcia, 2-0. It's an interim DBX heavyweight title. In the co-main event, Montavious Ware takes on UFC vet Luis Saldana, 1-0 in the sport. It was a tremendous knockout in his debut. We know that the current title holder, Junior Rosenstruck, he is dealing with a bit of legal problems. March 27th, Karate Combat is in Russia with the support of RCC. It's Karate Combat 60. The event will feature Muhammad Mokayev, Guram Kuntataladze, middleweight champion Islam Kazim, who has been booked for a title fight. And in lightweight title action, Adam Noe faces Luis Rocha. PFL has thrown out a bunch of dates and given their audience what to look forward to. March 20th is the debut in Madrid, Spain, with a rematch for the middleweight title as Castelo Van Nuys takes on Fabian Edwards. Middleweight top contender bout is just 8 days later in Pittsburgh with Johnny Eblen versus UFC vet, former tough winner, DBX vet Brian Battle. Sergio Pettis, April 11th, is taking on standout wrestler Mitch McKee. Paul Hughes versus New Zealander JJ Wilson as the PFL heads to Belfast, Northern Ireland, April 16th. And May 2nd, we got Logan Storley versus Zindel in Sioux Falls. That one garnered a lot of attention. I put this list together before we learned about the Belgium debut that's also going to come in May. So the PFL, for the most part, when you're looking at what they're doing right, Chicago, Wintrust Arena, interesting to go to a underserved market like Pittsburgh, where we know they are sports crazy, going to Spain, going back to Ireland. It does stick out a bit going to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. But you got to do what you got to do, and we'll see how this continues to play out. You're going to Brussels before the UFC returns to Belgium, where I believe they were once. Interesting international dynamic moves coming from the PFL. We are awaiting the arrival of the knockout artist of prime time, Santi Gonzalez. Never an athlete, jumped right into fighting, trains out of Sandoval Fight Systems under Freddie Sandoval. He's already won an amateur title under the CFC banner in El Paso. He looks to win his first amateur title in the state. We're going to have him on the show in just a moment. My Fight Show, brought to you by Barber Gabe's Fades. Barber R Us Beard Balm. You pick that up at barbergabesfades.net. The shine, the glow, the hold, the moisture. The Barbers R Us Beard Balm, cherry scented. Not just talking about it, actually displaying it. A lot of interesting headlines there in the fight world. I really still can't get over the fact that Oleksandr Usyk, Rico Verhoeven, that one really does feel off the board. Looking forward to, that will definitely be something. Verhoeven's been hurt before. Usyk rightfully so, a huge, huge favorite. He looks sweaty. He looks tired. If he gives me a thumbs up, I'll know he can hear me. I think we're almost ready to bring in our first guest of the night. Let's do it and see if he's ready. Santi Gonzalez, welcome to my fight show. How you doing?
Doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. You can hear me. That's great. Awesome. What's going on?
Sick. I can't hear you no more.
All right, let's try this again. What's going on with camp? How are you doing? What's the night been like?
Camp's been great, man. It's been working hard everywhere, just grinding in the gym, working my ass off.
Working hard, working hard. And I've heard some of that hard work has come in the direction with now with a new embracing of wrestling.
Yes, sir.
You were not a fan of wrestling. Is that accurate to say?
That is accurate, yeah.
What was it about wrestling that deterred you from noticing its effectiveness?
It's just the like lay and pray. I don't appreciate it as a fan. I don't appreciate it as a fighter. I I've learned like there's guys you get taken down and get the shit beat out of you. You still look like you were just in a war, and that's the goal. Anytime I go into the fight, that's the goal. I want to inflict damage and show 'em.
Your goal is to inflict damage. So, how have you now embraced the wrestling so that you're able to do that? Because it feels like we've seen it in your setbacks. Guys have stopped you from getting to that point where you want to, which is in their face punching them.
Yeah. Um, Shit, I think what I fell in love with the hard work. I like things that challenge me, the things that push me to my fullest, and wrestling something that's probably one of the hardest sports I've ever tried, if not the hardest sport.
What was the moment where it really clicked to you that wrestling is going to be necessary?
The Fight World fight with Isaac Sandoval.
Do you feel like what was lost in that moment, or did you just feel like you were not able to perform? Was it frustration? Like, what was the emotional, the thought process?
I think a lot of it is like I questioned how hard I had worked. Hey, did I give everything I could leading up to the fight to be successful? And I believe I work harder than everyone, no matter what I do. But I think wrestling something I've underappreciated, and I've learned to appreciate it now.
Is it refining it? Is it respecting it? Because with your style, I think there's almost a benefit to you don't want to get too offensive wrestling that you still to the benefit want a defensive wrestle mostly.
Yeah, I think it's come more defensively naturally. Naturally, I want to stand there and be in your face. I just think learn sometimes to be defensive wrestling, you gotta offensively wrestle. So I've learned when and like what times I should incorporate that.
A couple years ago, you just go into the gym and you say you want to start training. How do you look back on that decision? And is this what you expected to come after making that choice?
Uh, I think ah, it's a good one. It's made me just a better person. I think I'm grateful for the growth it's given me, the opportunities it's given me. I've met some amazing people, and I think I've grown into a lot better of a man than the track I was headed on. So I wouldn't take it back for the world.
Did you expect for it to be beneficial in those ways that it had been as a man, as a growth process? Because you go in there and I'm guessing there's a expectation, all right, I'm gonna see if I want to fight, but then you become this whole other person and you start to mature.
I don't know if I expected it to be to this extent. I think I expected it to humble me a little bit and calm me down a little, but I didn't realize to the extent it was gonna go in my life.
What how would you quantify the effect that it's had on you and how important it's become to you as a part of your life?
So it's become like a second home to me. It's really made a difference in all aspects. I feel like I've learned how to talk to people, communicate a little better. I think a lot of that comes from being secure. You know, I'm at the gym every day. I'm working my ass off. I know what I'm capable of, and I think it's helped me at work and resolving conflicts, just in life in general. I'm not so angry.
Is communication something that you felt was troubling you beforehand?
Definitely.
Where do you think that trouble was stemming from?
I think it just stemmed from the home life I had as a kid and the instability I had. I had very few people I counted on as a kid, so I think a lot of it was just anger and the instability.
Did you notice that you were transforming or that you were channeling this anger or that you were finding something that was missing? Like, did you notice this change as it was occurring?
No, I think one day I don't remember who I was speaking to. I hadn't seen him in a while, and they just mentioned like I seemed like a whole different person, like something else. I grew up, you know, and I think it was just a shock then. Then I could sit back and I really looked at how much I have grown as a person.
And how much do you attribute that to also the people that you now surround yourself with?
I feel like that's 80% of it. You know, the people I have around me right now are great and they support me in all aspects of life. And when I am struggling or I'm having a hard time, they definitely can ground me and bring me back to.
So, who would you feel have been some of those important influences to get you going in the right direction? It doesn't even have to be the coaches. It can be. I'm not trying to deflect from them, but who do you feel are some of the people that you need to give credit to for the guy that we see in front of us now?
My girlfriend, first and foremost, she's actually the first one to kind of push me into the gym and find my way. We talked a lot about it, and I attribute the most to her. She's helped me grow as a man and as a person, and truthfully, everyone at the gym helps me grow. I feel like daily I learn something from everybody.
And as a martial artist, as an athlete, I've seen you there since almost the beginning where we've almost used it to death. You walked in off the streets basically without any fighting background, without much of an athletic background. Do you start yet at this point to feel like an athlete, to feel like a martial artist?
I feel like I do. I feel very dangerous no matter where a fight goes, and I feel like my athleticism has made leaps and bounds. So I do feel like an athlete now.
Amateur titles. You have an amateur title fight next weekend, Las Cruces. El Paso, you've already raised a belt before. What did that mean to you getting to that pinnacle?
It means a ton. I think it just means like it helps me solidify the potential I have in the fight game. Um, I am far from where I want to be, but at the same time, I know I'm taking those right steps. I'm getting these opportunities because the potential I have.
Gabriel Pinedo, we've seen him have success, couple finishes back to back on his resume. We've also seen him at the APFC. He's been around for a while. How do you assess that this matchup is going to go? Do you feel this is going to be an exciting one, or is this somebody that you're going to have to force into the exciting exchanges that you desire?
I think it's going to be a fun one. I think mine and his styles clash real well. He likes to stand there. He's also good everywhere the fight goes. I don't see him quit anywhere. So I'm confident no matter how the fight's going, he's going to bring it too. So I think it's definitely a fan favorable fight.
We know that you've been working diligently on the wrestling for quite some time. Is it just the wrestling or is it the jujitsu also?
I have a great coach in jiu-jitsu with Jose, and we've been working endlessly on my jiu-jitsu as well. I feel like I can finish the fight in like a jiu-jitsu round. I can finish it ground and pound. I can finish it on the feet. I'm feeling very well rounded.
You've had some performances that haven't been indicative of who you are. What do you feel you got to do to at least be proud of the performance this time around and be satisfied with the gains that you've made throughout the camp and throughout the process?
As long as I give it everything I have, if I feel I walked out of there giving 100%, I know I'm giving it all now in training camp. And as long as the fight goes the same way and it's everything I have, I can't be disappointed.
When we talk about the support system that you have, how much does that expend to the team? Because whether I'm talking to Gabe or I bump into Angel or I'm talking to Freddie, it seems like everyone brings up everyone else and tries to really uplift.
The team's great. I think that's one of the best support systems I've experienced in my life. Everyone supports everyone. We don't have the biggest team, but every fight, I guarantee 99% of us are there. Win, lose, or draw, I know they have my back. I know they'll go raise my hand in the back, win, lose, or draw. So I appreciate it always.
Everyone's there for everybody. They want to see each other for their best. They want to see each other turn into their best. And when we're talking about what you envision for your best, we know that you have some knockout power, but ultimately what you envision, what kind of striker do you want to look like out there?
I want to look like I just want to look complete. I want to look solid everywhere. I want to look like the problem I am. I want people to look and fuck. I don't know how to deal with it. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
What would it mean to win a second title belt?
I mean, a bunch. I think for me, I think most importantly, I want to bring it back for the team. I think the team pushes me and has made me into the fighter I am today. So I look forward to bringing the belt back for them and getting to support the team like that.
He has these championship goals, these bigger aspirations. And from that first day that I brought it up that you walked into the gym, how has your outlook, like your general outlook, your big picture focus about what you could do in this sport, how has that changed or evolved?
I think it jumps every fight I have. I feel like I see a little bit more and a little bit more potential in myself. I feel like Freddie's done nothing but help me grow and give me the belief and faith and confidence in myself to go as far as I want to go. So I think the sky's the limit.
From what you came in there, from what you were looking for, has the why you do this changed at all?
Not really. I feel like I've always felt it in my blood. I've always felt like a fighter, and I feel like this just kind of solidifies it for me. It's just what I am.
Just for reference for everybody, how far away from Freddie are you right now?
Probably 30, 40 feet.
I could still hear him yelling at the team in the background. Tell him again. I said he is the loudest coach in New Mexico. I'm going to keep telling him. I know he
Oh
laughs at
yeah.
it, but I swear I heard him yelling a second ago, and I didn't think you were that close to the training room.
No, well, I'm in a different room, so it should be quieter. But you know, Freddie,
Belovedly, yes, we know Freddie. You go down to Las Cruces. What's your expectations?
go in there and dominate. I plan on dominating everywhere the fight goes. You know, I like to stand there and be in your face, but if he wants to go to the ground, I plan on dominating there too, and getting my hand raised. I don't plan on going 5 rounds, but I don't plan on it being quick. I think he's a game opponent, so I think it'll take some work to get him out of there, but I believe in myself to do it.
We pulled Santi Gonzalez out of practice to talk about Empire Promotions, Reign of Champions, Las Cruces. Get ready, March 14th. We're excited for it. Interview was brought to you by Barber Gabe's Fades. Get on over and visit them at 100 Course Boulevard, Suite 107. Santi, we'll let you get back to practice.
Thanks, sir. I appreciate it.
Santi Gonzalez, Empire Promotions. We're going to actually have a full special preview with a member of the promotion coming on here to give us the who's who and the what's what about one of the up and coming Southwest promotions. That is one guest out of the way tonight. And in a stacked show, we're expecting Cristian Cabral, if he's able to, traffic permitting, any moment. The Legacy continues 3. April 4th, Embassy Suites. We're a boxing state, and boxing is back. One of the biggest prospects in the state, Abraham Pettis, on top of the card with some of the area's cornerstones. When we talk about Josh Pitbull Torres, when we talk about El Puma, Cristian Cabral, Maximus Moya's on the card, Andreas Ray, looking all so forward to boxing being back here live and local. Again, that interview brought to you by Barber Gabe's Fades. Walk-ins are welcome. Get on over to barbergabesfades.net to book today to just make it easy and simple. Walk on in and they'll get right to you. Combat sports, amazing. A huge weekend. Las Vegas, the UFC taking over, where you have Friday night with Power Slap. Yes, Chelsea Dodson here a little bit later on in this first hour is going to join us to help us preview that card. We know now who has won the coin tosses. We know who is slapping first. I'm going to ask her how crucial that is. We're also going to get into some Duke City Championship wrestling chatter. Get it, got it, bueno. Your tickets available at holdmyticket.com for the March 28th event at the El Rey Theater. Get to see the present stars of NWA coming down to challenge the best and future stars of the NWA right here at NWA New Mexico Duke City Championship Wrestling. So Chelsea's going to be here in a little bit. Nick Gonzales, we know he's going to have a lot to say about what is going on with our local combat sports ecosystem and kind of the dismantling of the amateur kickboxing system, something that Nowhere to Run has been trying to prevail over and trying to help get more exposure to, get these athletes active for several years. And that is proving to be such a challenge. And if you'll indulge me, guys, if you're local, this part of the show is for you. You remember back when we had Montevias, when we had Rosales, when we had the Judgment Kickboxing Series, when Fit NHB had Battlegrounds, thriving ecosystem. Look at that time. I mean, the time where the Rosama brothers, where Ozzy Chavez, Amanda Lovato, Jerome Rivera, where these guys all got their experience. We started to see Sergio and Hondo, the Gutierrez brothers, and the potential that they now have. Getting that amateur experience is crucial. Look at USA Boxing. Look at the experience that at Crawford, that Stevenson, that some of these guys that we already know, the experience that a Uruba Maru Jr., that a Abraham Pettis, that a Diamond Boy Matthew Griego has, and how that benefits you moving forward. So Nick Gonzales is going to have a lot to say when he joins us here in a little bit. Look at my notes. I realized when we were talking about BKFC, I did forget to mention one. BKFC going to be back in Florida. Yeah, we know that because Kai Stewart defending his featherweight title. Perdomo, the uncrowned champion, the number one contender, he's on that card. Local favorites, we do get Donald Sanchez in what apparently will be his retirement fight, moving back up to light heavyweight to take on the first man that he fought in BKFC, South Africa's Jeremy Smith. And you also get a mega opportunity for Berlin's Derek Perez as he will take on cornerstone and ranked featherweight contender, former title challenger Brian Duran, right in Duran's area. That one, we're going to need extra security out the face-off. I'm telling you right now, that one will not be hospitable. That one is going to be, electric. If you guys were keeping up with the Bare Knuckle show, David Feldman had announced last week that the promotion had released Zach Kalmus over at cageminds.com. Several times we have talked to Zach Kalmus, and promptly he did sign with BKB. So you will see Zach Kalmus debuting in the Trigon. Hopefully someone can light a fire under his butt and get him to be more offensive. A guy that has almost let his opponents punch him to exhaustion, and it's been unceremonious. You don't want to see a guy take so much damage. I'm not saying it was the right thing to do for BKFC to release him, but I'm hoping that this does encourage a style change so that he is more proactive towards the finishes. This is not a sport where you want to be taking a lot of punches, where you want to be taking a ton of damage. So for the benefits of Zach Helms with this second life in BKB, I hope he takes full advantage of it and goes in there and puts the aggression and the needed offense together to get victories rather than trying to play a long game in a short sport. Robbie Ray Images, Robbie Ray Media, give them credit, give him credit for the dynamic video. YouTube, you can see it. Ray Yee, our guest this past weekend, Cage Minds Fight Hour, his incredible journey from Portland, Oregon to learning martial arts literally around the world, and then somehow settling here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and ending up as a stuntman, ending up in the corner of Donald Cowboy Cerrone. The whole tale is up. YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, courtesy of Robbie Ray Media. I got to take a drink, throw it up for Dubby, keep it energized, keeping me going. Went with the blueberry flavor tonight. Floyd Mayweather went through this one already. Again, we'll bring it back up if you guys didn't see it. For a retired fighter, quite active, planning to be active once again, has announced 3 fights, 3 different fights. Yeah. We're going to see Floyd Mayweather possibly in the Congo against Mike Tyson. Then fly over to Athens to take on legendary kickboxer Mike Zambitis before hitting the spear, thanks to Ring, Turkey Alakesh, and returning to a professional bout to take on Manny Pacquiao in a rematch. What a time in boxing. Big weekend for Zuffa, for TKO Sports. You have Power Slap, Chelsea Dodson coming on to help us preview Power Slap 18 here shortly. That's Friday. Saturday during the day, we got some BKFC. Maybe we should talk about that now. We'll give that just a second before we get to the BKFC conversation. UFC, we're going to have a whole preview coming up. James Romero, 7:30. Max Holloway, Charles Oliveira rematch. BMF title. 2 absolute legends. 2 absolute all-action fighters. 2 beloved fan favorites. 2 guys that longevity with the promotion is to be admired. 2 guys that put it all on the line. 2 guys that have taken narratives and been able to flip them and turn them and redirect them, repurpose themselves. And they're truly BMFs for the way they've approached this sport, for the way they've approached adversity, obstacles, true champions. Both of them Hall of Famers, in my opinion, with what they've done. Holloway, most strikes landed this point in UFC history. Ridiculous number. Over 4,000. And Charles Oliveira, most submissions attempted, most submission wins in UFC history. All-timer coming up this weekend. First Zuffa boxing champion, a Zuffa cruiserweight world champion that's 200 pounds in the Zuffa rankings, or the Zuffa boxing weight classes. Jai Opetaia, unanimously considered the best cruiserweight in the world in the main event, the Black Diamond belt. And it's getting a little more particularly interesting to try to understand the Zuffa boxing mechanism as they work alongside Ring Magazine. They honor the Ring Magazine rankings, but they are the world title holder. And I actually look up those betting odds. For this weekend. MMA After Hours is up. Michael Carlisle gonna be on the scene, getting everything covered. Hopefully we'll have some photos up across social media. Zuffa Boxing 4, Opataya minus 1800 to the 23 or to the 21 and 3. Brandon Galton, bulletproof, a big puncher, but not at this level. The initial voyage plan, when they said what the mission statement was, clarity to the rankings and the divisions, not to mention the best fighting the best. That's what Zuffa Boxing was talking about when they were going to launch, why they were needed for the boxing ecosystem. Minus 1800 in the first world title fight. Yeah. Jai Opataya at 29 and 0, the 30-year-old from Sydney, from, I believe, fighting out of Sydney and possibly born in New Zealand. A ridiculous string of 4 knockouts in a row. Definitely someone to keep an eye on. A devastating force to behold for boxing fans. I just kind of question if this is what we were served to believe we were going to be getting. We shall see. Can't judge it till after it happens. But obviously, I'd say where we know where the money's going. But at minus 1800, I don't know who wants to put down that much money with those kind of odds. Awaiting Cristian Cabral, El Puma scheduled to be on. He said he was on the way home, looking to see if he can jump on here at 6:30. A part of the Legacy Continues 3. That's Saturday, April 4th. Legacy Boxing Promotions here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Abraham Perez, IBF Intercontinental Flyweight title is vacant. He takes on Enos Domingo, 26 fight vet. Perez, the 13 and 0 technician, who we all know it, robbed out of his opportunity of the Olympics, has recovered from his near drowning, near fatal, his brush with death, and is once again looking like the Abraham Perez that we know. Domingo, a world traveled veteran competitor, another stiff task in the maturation. Cristian Cabral, Eduardo Monreal, Josh Pitbull Torres, Antonio Ellerson, Angelo Valencia versus Andreas Ray, Cody Chavez, Isaiah Aguilar. Probably going to be a blood and guts war when Bryant McLean faces Elijah Martinez. Max Moya is taking on Herman Ponce. And Marcelina Delgado versus Isaac Gemez. That is what BoxRec is listing for the card right now, hoping that we're going to have Cristian Cabral join us. But about at this point, might be more likely that Chelsea Dodson will be jumping in sooner than later. First off, for us to do our Power Slap preview. You know what? Definitely right about that one. Chelsea Dodson right on time, ready to do the Power Slap preview. Unfortunately, this week, Cristian Cabral not able to join us. Hopefully, we'll be able to get with him and have something for you guys next week. Power Slap 18, La Fontainebleau, and don't forget, Duke City Championship Wrestling. Get it, got it, bueno. March 28th, holdmyticket.com for the tickets. Join us live at the El Rey Theater so you know what we're going to be talking about with Mini Mayhem.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Where are we right now?
I'm at home.
I'm like, this is your workout space. There seems to be a gym everywhere you go.
I'm supposed to do cardio when I wake up, but I don't do that. So
We know you're a workhorse though all the time.
I know. So it's fine. It's fine.
Real quick, I haven't asked you about this before, but when did the baking come up? Where do you become this awesome baker?
So what happened was during COVID, when everybody was doing drive-by birthday parties, our daughter turned 1, and that's a big celebration. And we couldn't have a birthday party, so I kept asking people, "Hey, can you bake cookies so we can just hand them out?" And they were like, "No, it's COVID. Like, you're dumb." And John's like, "Just teach yourself how to do it." And here I am. 6 years later, I bake cookies still.
All right, hidden talent.
I know. I didn't even know I was good at it till later on, honestly. I used to teach paint parties. A lot of people don't know that, but that's what I used to do. So I'm an artistic soul.
I was going to ask you how you got the intricate designs and decorations. I mean, it's really high level stuff.
Yeah, I used to paint. So I can't draw for crap, but I can paint a good painting here and there.
So is power slap a work hazard then if you damage the money makers?
My gosh, yes. So like obviously I slap right-handed, but I also pipe right-handed. So anytime like after a fight, I allow like 2 weeks where I don't take any orders just because I need my hand to heal. It's always bruised after every power slap event. It's always bruised, or I mess up my wrist, something. There
Have you
hasn't been
become
a time.
ambidextrous with the piping bag?
No, not at all. I mean, John learned how to do it, so I have him as a backup, but he's not as good as me artistic wise to pipe as good as I can. So
All right, so Chelsea's already said it. Her skills are at a 10. Where do we rank John's skills?
like a 7.
All right, so he's a solid helper, but if it's an expensive order, you should probably do it.
Yeah, no, he won't touch it. He already knows. There's like a certain way, like baby shower cookies or like wedding cookies. I don't let him pipe them just because that's very special for that person. And if it's like a birthday party and the people don't care, then that's different. But if it's like for a wedding or something special, like they're ordering from me for their special day and I don't want to ruin it with like a messed up cookie. So that's my art going out in the world and they hire me for a very important thing. So
The most dangerous cookie decorators in Albuquerque, or
I
quite
know, ain't
possibly
that
ever.
crazy? We both do that. We both fight and then we both do that is wild. And we both talk smack, so you hear it firsthand.
And we also now got you following in his footsteps into the fight game, into the pro wrestling world. This was all on a whim. And now you are a fixture alongside Matthew Robles at Duke City Championship Wrestling.
Period. I have much more to say about that. We have stuff coming up, so got to stay ready.
Did you expect showing up probably one time with very vague notice of what was going to happen, that it would turn into a monthly endeavor into this whole new world?
I honestly wasn't expecting anything because I reached out to one of my friends about practicing, and then he's like, "Hey, come to the show." And then, like, since then, they've just had me every show, and I love being a part of it. I'm such a heel, and I get to be like a bad bee out there and pretty much myself. So I don't have to pretend to be somebody out there. And I don't know, it's fun, and I love doing it. And it gives you a reason to dress up and just go out there and be somebody else. Like, I'm me, but I got to be somebody else and play a little persona.
No. We've seen you before the power slap matches. That's all you. Let's be real. That's all.
That's
you.
why I tell them. I tell people in interviews and stuff. They're like, "Oh, where did Mini Mayhem come from?" And I'm like, I think everybody has like an alter ego, and that's like your true self that gets to come out, because we always shelter our inner selves all the time. But when you're on stage, it's just you versus the other person standing in front of you, and you can literally be yourself. And everybody can judge, but not everybody can step on that stage and do what we do.
You're aligned with these scoundrels, with the world champion, with For Sale, with Saleh, with this manager, this director of authority who is obviously on the take, like most politicians, and in Matthew Robles. But really, what has it been like getting to work with them and learn from guys that have the experience that they do?
So first off, Matthew Robles is like freaking amazing. Like if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be so confident like going out there and doing everything that I know how to do for the managing side and my personality going out on stage. Like he'll give me a pep talk and he don't even care like if he's being rude or not. He's just like, "You do this and this is what we're doing and don't make me look like a B word out there." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." Like I wasn't expecting that at all, but then like after knowing him a little longer, I'm like, "Oh, that's totally your personality." Like
He's a football coach.
I did not know that until you
Look
said
at the
that right now.
personality.
Yeah, he has a big personality and I love it. Saleh obviously is like out there he's a monster, but like behind the scenes he's like the sweetest soul, and like anything you have a question about he'll make sure he like explains things calmly and like approaches things differently, versus Matthew Robles just literally doesn't care and he's just very out there. So I need that. I need to be told like not mean or aggressive, but just like a different tone sometimes, just to kind of like, oh, you need to be put in your place real quick. So I don't know. I mess with that honestly.
Was it more nerve wracking the first time you walked out on the El Rey Theater stage or the Power Slap stage? They
How
were
pro wrestling, like for sure. That one was like the more biggest one that I was like, oh my God, like what am I doing? Because I didn't know anything about that world. I didn't even know anything about Power Slap, but at the same time, I was so excited to go out there and I was so excited to go out and do pro wrestling, but I didn't know what to expect, right? I guess on both of them, but the worst one was probably pro wrestling just because I literally just kind of got thrown on the show and then I was like, okay, well, here I am
and now
versus
you are
me training for months for Power Slap. I kind of knew what I was stepping into versus that came about in like 2-3 weeks. And I was like, oh my, I don't even know what I'm doing.
and now
But
you are a constant figure with both promotions and in both worlds.
yeah, and I love it. And I'm trying to go out there and show people like, regardless you're married, you have kids, you own a business, you can still go out there and chase some dreams and go for goals. Honestly, if you have anything you put your mind to, you can go ahead and achieve that.
Were you calling out another power slapper to come down here so you could slap her, or was that for Power Slap? I was a little confused if that was going to be in the wrestling ring or the Power Slap stage or both, or
Okay,
what's going on.
hear me out. She's also a pro wrestler, and I'm a pro wrestler, and her name's Holly Hood.
Okay,
And
we know.
and I don't know. I just feel like both of our energy is very out there, and I feel like we would just be a great match in general. So it was more or less me calling her out and putting a name out there, like, hey, if I want to verse somebody, this is who I'm going to verse. And I kind of just put it out there and manifesting this fight in a sense of it would be a good sell on both ends, just because we're both pro wrestlers and both power slap athletes, and our records are very similar. So that's the only one that makes sense in my head, if I'm being honest.
Do you have a date in mind? Have you had any conversations? Do you have a trajectory right now or a possibility for the next time we'll see you in Power Slap?
No, the matchmaker texted me and said he'll let me know when they have something for me, but that's not a date, that's not a confirmation. That's literally like, hey, we're interested in booking you again, but we don't know when. So kind of just the waiting game. Their first event back for the New Year's now in March, obviously. And then they just announced an April card. So they're barely booking for that one. So hopefully April.
Power Slap 18 wanted to bring you on to talk about the card. There was a little bit of a rule change recently, also with Power Slap, that I wanted to get your opinion on. I thought it was well deserved. They said no more coin toss, automatically champion slap first. I'm like, they got the bell. I guess you could do them that little service.
I feel like that's great just because they work so hard to earn the belt, right? And then some of them have defended their belt multiple times. So sometimes the champ goes out there, gets slapped one time, kind of gets slapped, and then they lose their belt immediately without being able to return the slap. So In my opinion, I think it's a win because I feel like they've earned that, and I wouldn't take anything away from that, honestly.
Fountain Blue, we have a light heavyweight title fight, I believe, in the main event where you get Wolverine versus the crazy Hawaiian who comes down from super heavyweight all the way to light heavyweight. Crazy body transformation. Wolverine's a veteran with a strong record coming to defend. Crazy Hawaiian is resilient. I've heard he has a really unique style, and a lot of people, they're looking at the weight loss as the intriguing factor. How's the power? How is the ability to take a slap? What are your thoughts?
I feel like he's going to do really good in this weight class regardless. He's very much a staple in the sport and nothing but respect and power to him. He actually trained me for my first power slap fight. A lot of people don't know that, but we would have training sessions over FaceTime. But you can't sleep on Wolverine just because he's a goat of the sport also. And it's kind of cool seeing both of them be a staple and they're versing each other. So this is actually a really huge fight in power slap history. A lot of people that don't know power slaps back end stories. So for both of them, he was supposed to go to heavyweight and then he ended up cutting a little more weight than what he intentionally wanted to. So that's how he ended up going to light heavyweight.
You dropped lower than the original target weight.
Yeah, because he was super heavyweight. He was going to go to heavyweight, but he cut a lot more weight. So that's how he got a light heavyweight title shot. So with that being said, I can't pick a winner because I feel like both of them are really like a staple in the sport, and it's just an honor to watch both of them like see them versus each other, if that makes sense.
Well,
I can't pick one, so
well, let's do it this way. If the fight ends early, who do you think is more likely to have won?
okay, hear me out. Wolverine is such a goat in the sport, right? And he has such a really strong chin. And Crazy is coming down from super heavyweight. Mind you, when you cut a lot of weight, which it showed in my last performance, you cut a lot of weight in general, your chin's not as strong as it normally is. Nothing against Crazy Hawaiian whatsoever. Very proud of him for cutting all that weight. But he used to slap at super heavyweight. So people need to take that into consideration. He's been hit harder from the super heavyweights than he ever would from a light heavyweight. Does that make sense?
So you're thinking that he will be able to, even though it's going to be a different feeling for him, you're still thinking he's going to be able to take it because it's a less impactful, less violent slap than obviously the bigger monsters he was already getting hit by.
Exactly. I mean, he's already been hit by the toughest people. Dumpling, for instance, he hits like a truck, like on the cube, he hits very hard. And Crazy ate all 5 of his slaps. Like it went round for round. So he's going against a light heavyweight, which their weight is way less, right? So the power's there from Wolverine, but also Crazy can take a super heavyweight hit versus a light heavyweight hit.
Alan
Klingbeil. Both of these guys used to corner me. So Crazy cornered me and Alan Klingbeil cornered me for my first ever match against Paige Van Zandt in Abu Dhabi. But he's going against Logan Greenholla for co-main event. Alan just fought Wolverine, ended up losing that match, but it was such a good match. Everybody thought he was going to get an automatic rematch, but whoever wins between the co-main event gets a title shot. So this is actually a huge fight, in my opinion, just because Logan Greenholla is on a win streak, and Alan just lost to the champ.
So we get the title fight, and then we get right away already when they walk off, they're going to know who's awaiting them because in the co-main event, it's the automatic #1 contenders fight.
Yes.
So a lot of implications here for the light heavyweight division.
Yes.
Middleweights are up next. Brandon Rhodes, Azel Rodriguez.
Ooh, this one is such a good match, right? Because Azael's been there since the beginning, and Brandon Rhodes, his is driving me crazy. I love watching him slap fight. I'm a fan of both of them, and they're just so entertaining and they're so strong. So both of them have been sat down, but Azael just moved to this weight class. So that's going to be an interesting match. I don't really know where to stand, and I'm not picking a winner for that one either.
Is he coming up in weight or down in weight?
Down.
Oh, all right. Coming down from 205 to 185. We'll see how that affects him. We get Wes Mena versus.
Zakir.
Thank you. You want to give me the last name too? Nai Men Bayov?
I don't know how to say his last name. I just know everybody just calls him Zakir. He just does the craziest crap on the internet. And everybody loves watching him because he's so entertaining. But this one, in my opinion, I'm rooting for Wes Mena. That's my boy. They both hit a very unique way when you watch slap fighting. If you ever watch them slap, they slap a very unique way. So they kind of slap very similar. And that's going to be the deciding factor of that fight, in my opinion. Coin toss winner is Zakir, but Wes Mena knows how to eat a slap. So
how big is the coin toss and winning it?
I'd say it's 50-50. I don't see, like, for women, we get slapped first. So me, in my opinion, I'd rather get slapped first because it spikes my adrenaline, and then I hit harder, right? Because our bodies just automatically do that. For men, some people can get slapped off the first slap. So it's like, again, it's 50-50. But for the women, we usually go like all 3 rounds. Majority of the time.
Majority of the time. Do you feel like extra conditioning is needed then for the hands for that, just because you end up going and having to do the 3 slaps, the 5 slaps more often?
Yes, because John teaches me different than like how other people train for power slap. So he's just like, conditioning has a lot to do with your sport, and a lot of people don't understand that, because your recovery for taking a slap is like your conditioning, right? But also, if you don't condition your hand to slap somebody because you're hitting it full force, he's like, you're going to mess up everything. You can mess up from your elbow to your wrist to your hand. Like, yes, I believe there's a lot of conditioning that goes into it, but that's what John makes me train.
So the arm workouts, the wrist workouts, the forearm, the bicep, everything is crucial?
Yes.
Were you surprised by this getting into the intricacies of the sport? Like, oh, I'm going to go slap some people. Okay.
See, I didn't realize how much actually went into it until John didn't, like, he was like, you signed up for a professional sport. Mind you, I did not know slap fighting was professional sport. I just like, I don't know what I thought in my head. I thought it was just slap. And then, so we actually have like a bunch of little tools, and I'll show you one thing.
Power slap 101 from the...
He makes us do these.
Oh, the tension. Oh, the forearm.
There's some of those. We do a lot of band workouts with our, obviously with bands, and we put them on our neck, and we do like neck training, a ton of neck training. What else do we do? He makes us grab rice. We have like grip strength training that we do. Obviously, like bicep curls, chest, back, all the necessary stuff. But also, he makes me do a lot of cardio, and I don't like it. So in fight camp, I'm very like, don't talk to me. I'm cutting weight.
I think I've undersold this also. You keep saying the we. You have a diabolical, it's almost like the gruesome twosome now with your internet cohort, you and Johnny Magna, and you have a power slap teammate at Nobody's Villains. Is it just the 2 of you, or are we starting to expand the team of slappers?
So actually another guy came and trained with us. It was actually cool. His name was Prince. He drove down just to start training with us. Jamie Hinshaw came and trained with us one time. Speaking of her, she's fighting this weekend. Let's go, Jamie. And then other than that girl Destiny, me and her trained for a while, but we did all of John's workouts. So she lives in Vegas, but if we lived closer, we would all train together. She's in my weight class too, so the slap community's tight.
Shout out Jamie. Unfortunately, we'll have to wait for when they release that one. Tape delayed. We'll hopefully see that one sooner than later. We also got 4 matches on the prelims. Is there one that specifically stands out to you that you're excited for?
Dakota McGregor and Vince Tracy is a good match. Dakota actually slap fought for a title. He didn't end up winning, but he has a very strong chin. But Vince, his recovery game is crazy, and that one has been viral because it looked like he was about to get slept, and he didn't, and he got right back up from it. So that match is very interesting to me to see how it goes.
Power slap, pro wrestling. You have no clue what you're doing, but we're sure you're going to be busy on March 28th, right?
Oh yeah, I was like, wait, what are you talking about? Pro wrestling, yeah.
Get it, got it, bueno. Duke City Championship Wrestling, El Rey Theater. Are we going to cross over to actually getting in the ring and wrestling? Are you going to, have you taken the training to that far to doing the bumps yet?
You'll see soon.
Oh, okay, there's a surprise. I probably shouldn't ruin this. It may happen, it may not. I think we're still trying to convince John. Do we drag him somehow in here to even be mean? And we get you guys in a mixed tag like CM Punk, AJ Lee, the couples as tag teams. It's all the rage right now.
I feel like the Dodsons in pro wrestling would be like undefeated in general, just because. See, but John's a babyface and I'm a heel, so we would have to figure that out.
No, totally. I'll have to show you some of the Cody Rhodes AEW footage. It worked great. He had a heel manager, a heel wife, but he was a baby face that kept smiling the entire time and just like not noticing what they were doing behind as they were begging him to cheat.
I need to go watch that just because I feel like we would be unstoppable in general, but our personalities are, he's very babyface and I'm very heel, so yin yang.
Has this been as much fun as you expected? All of a sudden you're just like, hey, I'm going to sign up for a website and I'm going to try to go get slapped and we'll see if they answer it. Hey, I'm going to answer a phone call and go downtown. Like, is this all the fun that it looks like it's
honestly it is so fun and so unexpected, and people like, oh, you're living the dream, and I agree with them. I'm like, I really am, and it's not like picking or at anybody or anything, but honestly I signed myself up for it because I just believed in myself, and here I am doing all these cool things because I just said yes and I just wanted to do them, and here we are. And that's really who I am. And I'm glad I took those steps forward because I was just staying at home, not doing anything. And now I'm doing a lot with my life. And it's just awesome to see and awesome to feel. And I feel like it's full circle because I can go take John to go do things and travel with him with my fighting now because he used to do that all for me. So it's a very cool full circle moment.
That is so awesome. It's so cool. We're seeing everything progress. Hopefully we'll see you power slapping again. We'll definitely see you soon. Mini Mayhem. Thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Bye.
Power slap, YouTube. Gonna be free this weekend. Not sure what's going on. Cristian Cabral, we're having some technical difficulties. Technical difficulties. Looks like he will be joining us here in a couple minutes. Not sure where Nick Gonzalez is. He was supposed to be our 7 o'clock guest. Really do appreciate Chelsea Dodson with the Power Slap preview. Slap on some Barbers R Us beard balm to keep yourself smooth, shiny, your beard in place. And that was our Power Slap 18 preview, mixed in with a little bit of talk about Duke City Championship Wrestlings. Cristian Cabral says he's logging in. Hopefully, we're going to get to talk to the New Mexico pugilist in a moment. 7:30, and he's always on time. 20 minutes away is James Romero. So it's almost a race between Nick Gonzalez and Cristian Cabral to see if we can get either one of them in the chat. Huge weekend of combat sports. Let's not forget that BKFC is also in Newcastle. Saturday morning, you can watch it. You subscribe to the BKFC app. The fight promises old school power versus a rising menace in the heavyweight ranks, as a BKFC UK heavyweight champion will be crowned as former heavyweight champion, world heavyweight champion Mick Terrell, returning to action with a wealth of experience, including wins over top tier competition under the BKFC banner, and a furious but uncomplicated striking style built for bare knuckle violence. In his recent outing, we saw him unfortunately succumb to the massive power of Ben Rothwell. He had to search for himself. He's now wanting to reestablish himself as the king of the UK heavyweights. Well, the Ghost McFarlane on the other side brings along a professional boxing pedigree that includes 24 fights with 16 victories. A thunderous debut performance has earned him this opportunity. Taking off the gloves, going to the bare fist has not slowed down his momentum, and his power was pronounced when we saw his debut overseas. The Scotsman is a heavy hitter and looking to bring ferociousness to the scene. The BKFC UK featherweight title on the line in the co-main event in a compelling opposite of styles, a dynamic rivalry as Gary Fox, a gritty, forward-pressured featherweight, battles James Lilly, a seasoned contender with world title level experience. Fox earned his title shot with tough competitive outings stateside and will be eager to regain the title that he let go of to take the big opportunity coming over to America. Lilly previously did challenge for the world title also, has been extremely close, has great technique, experience. This is a barn burner matchup waiting to explode. Intriguing prospect on the card. We're circling Lewis Keane among the undercard fighters. The lightweight is 4-1 in bare knuckle, taking on John Telfer. The standout is a riser with a strong early run, a proven finishing ability, a keen presence. He represents the new wave of UK fighters to the BKFC talent pool. Young, exciting, and hungry to make noise. While not fighting for a title this weekend, there's a lot of momentum that he could be just a short step away. Grazim Salim, former WWE star Razak, from the authors of Pain, been doing judo since the age of 4, kickboxing since the age of 12, credited with winning an 8-man kickboxing tournament in Germany, 6 fights, including competing in Bama and Bellator, will be making his BKFC debut. Just gave you 4 great reasons if you got the BKFC app, if you still have your free trial because you've never checked it out. This Saturday morning, check out some fights and get ready for the violence and the excitement that will be UFC 326. We're awaiting Cristian Cabral. Not sure what's happening with the holdup. I'm waiting on Nick Gonzalez, who did confirm earlier. This is the chaos. This is the beauty of being live. But we were able to go live thanks to Talk ABQ. All their support has been tremendous. All of the views, all the likes, all the hearts, all the shares, greatly appreciated. And if you haven't liked, share, and subscribed, but you have tuned in, if you do that little bit extra, it really does go a long way. Just like your beard balm from Barbers R Us, it goes a long way. I've had a canister. It's been lasting for months. A little goes a long way, keeps the shine, beautiful smell. Barber Gabe's Fades, 100 Course Boulevard, Northwest Suite 107 here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Walk-ins are welcome to go get your hair cut. Look the best for a big weekend coming up. and it's Robbie Ray Images, photos, video, commercials, your next holiday Christmas cards, your next headshots. Robbie Ray has you covered in every direction you could think of, photography wise, videography wise. Real quick, checking in, getting an update. We're unfortunately having an issue. With Cristian Cabral. We are going to try to send him a link one more time. Give me 1 minute, guys. We're going to hit a quick break. Still trying to get Cristian Cabral in. Hopefully, we'll be joined by Nick Gonzalez. If not, I'll tell you, James Romero will be here at the bottom of the hour. Going to put 60 seconds on the clock, but I don't think we're going to need it. This is My Fight Show. Thank you for watching. Give us a break. Welcome back. My Fight Show with Mika Frankl. CageMinds.com is the website. Cage Minds Combat Sports News on Facebook at CageMinds_CSN. If you are watching on Instagram, you already know that, but that's also how you find us on X, TikTok, and Threads. Appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. We are awaiting James Romero. We are efforting Cristian Cabral. He's having an issue with the link for us to get him into the conversation. And I hope everything's all right with Nick Gonzalez, who did confirm earlier, but hasn't responded since then. The beauty of going live, flying by the seat of your pants. MMA After Hours is out. Brandon Moreno, uncharacteristically bad performance against Lonnie Kavanaugh this past weekend in Mexico City. I mean, we've seen Moreno lose fights, but they've been barn burners. They've been bangers. They've been wars. And I wonder if it's caught up with him, literally unable to physically catch up with Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh looked lightning fast. His blitzes were on point. A really solid performance in all from the Englishman. Startlingly good for a guy that had cardio issues, had less experience. And we're talking about a Brandon Moreno that's always rose to the moment. He's rose to the occasion. We haven't seen him falter in this manner before. And it was really stunning to see how he was unable to close the distance and how it didn't seem like, for the first time in several fights, it felt like we had hit a point with Moreno where I'm not saying he was Volkanovski level, but that there was that extra step of thought process towards your attack, towards your game planning. And a lot of that didn't feel evident. He's a UFC analyst. He's had the opportunity to call some of Kavanaugh's fights on the Mexican Spanish broadcast. And I was startled that it didn't look like he was familiar with what was in front of him. A huge win for Kavanaugh, who jumps up to number 6 in the world and salvages what seemed to be a crushing defeat to Charles Johnson. And I don't know who has better victories all of a sudden, but isn't really a threat at the top of the division than Charles Johnson, claiming knockout victories over Loney Kavanaugh. And don't forget, the last man to beat Joshua Van. Totally interesting set of circumstances going on in the flyweight division. I don't think we're going to be able to get on Cristian Cabral tonight. I'm not sure what's happening with our connection. We are attempting it, and I can see him trying, but unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get that one going. Mexico did not have the name recognition that you would expect from a UFC card, but we're going to get to it here in a moment. We're going to have our bets and picks coming on with James Romero, and I think he's going to be around the same. There's a lack of name recognition in this card that for a pay-per-view is surprising. Sorry, everybody, still trying to converse with Cristian right here as we were trying to get Al Puma in. Been a while since I got to conversate with him. He was gone from the sport for what was the better part of 2 years, I want to say. Cristian Cabral, we saw him November 2023, split draw with Morris Rodriguez, comes back with the TKO win 2 years later in December, turning around 4 months later, getting, it looks like, some consistency going, because at least 2023, when he tried to make his first comeback, 2 fights, was really interested to see where Cristian was at. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to make this happen. Legacy Boxing Promotions. Legacy continues, coming up on April 4th. Some familiar faces, some of the top prospects. It's going to be an intriguing night of pugilism. Starting to get to be that time. Do we start that chatter? When does the next step? When do you see Abraham Pettis back on that Matchroom Boxing, DAZN platform, a ring card? Zuffa is only going to go to 126 pounds. They don't want to go under the traditional MMA flyweight. So it'll be interesting to see how some of these lighter weight fighters still make their way in the industry. Another title could be added to the wall, though, for Abraham Pettis on April 4th. ESPN Radio Albuquerque this Saturday, 9 to 10 local time in Albuquerque, New Mexico. It's going to be the Cage Minds Fight Hour. Mean Machine, Steve Garcia. We're going to be talking about him. We're going to be talking about the featherweight division, Volkanovski, Aljamain Sterling, UFC 326 preview. Yes, we're going to do something different than with him than what we're going to do with James. James Romero, we're a couple minutes out from him jumping on the show, giving us his thoughts about the BMF title fight. Barber Gabe's Fades. It's barbergabesfades.net. That's where you find your Barbers R Us Beard Balm. Walk-ins are welcome at 100 Coors Northwest, Suite 107, but I book online so you can just skip the line, skip the hassle, and get taken care of right away. Tomorrow, Pro Wrestling After Hours will be out. Elimination Chamber in the books. Randy Orton looks like he's about to face Drew McIntyre. CM Punk, Roman Reigns saying some heinous stuff to each other. Rhea Ripley up next for Jade Cargill. Michael Carlisle and myself talk all about it. Pro Wrestling After Hours tomorrow, not to mention AEW is on the road to Revolution. Hangman Page gets Texas Death against MJF. Big weekend of combat sports. Zuffa crowning their first champion. Jaya Opataya, a absolutely massive favorite to do so. Power Slap, light heavyweight champion, gonna be crowned. UFC with a BMF title fight. Championships going all around. As I mentioned already, BKFC with a cruiserweight championship bout going on. Even early, getting set up. James Romero will be our last guest tonight coming in. We had a big show planned. Going live, trying to plan. Going to be making some phone calls later. Hope everybody is well. Staying energized here with our friends at Dubby. We're going to need to be energized for a big weekend of action. There's some pretty interesting betting lines on this one. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how many dogs James is interested in, because this looks like a card a lot more attractive than when we were talking about Australia. Not as many shots in the dark when we were looking at that card, but I think this one might have a couple more. It looks like James is cooking. If he's ready, let me know if you're ready. I think you can hear me.
Pause.
What's going on?
What's going on? Yeah, I didn't know. Oh, I thought I was on already. I was like, yeah, I was cooking. I was just waiting to go on.
Oh, yeah, no, I was watching you chop it up. I wasn't sure what you were doing. For a second, I thought you were trying to position everything, and then I noticed the knife.
Yeah, no, I was cooking up some sweet potatoes real quick.
Cooking up some sweet potatoes. Nice, nice. How you doing this evening?
Doing good. Just got out of practice. Had a good wrestling sparring day.
Do we got any news? Do we know anything? What's next for James?
Nothing yet. We had something for CFFC against some Brazilian dude, and they said no. So we're looking. JJ will find me a fight soon. So I'm actually wrestling this weekend at Greater Southwest just to do some sort of competition.
Are you having to cut weight for that?
Not really. I'm gonna do 197 and there's a 3-pound allowance. And I'm gonna do 222. I think I'm gonna double bracket. But I walk around like 205, maybe 210, but I've been a little lighter this week. I'm like 205 right now. So I gotta get to 200. It's a 5-pound cut. That's not even a cut.
When was the last time you wrestled?
Last time I wrestled a tournament was US Open. I wrestled at heavyweight, and that's when I placed at heavyweight at the US Open. I was maybe 2019, 2018, 2019.
Oh, so you excited? Something like you're getting back to like something you hadn't done in a while.
Yeah. It was like people were talking about it. We should compete. I'm like, yeah, I'm down. I'm gonna do it. I don't have a fight coming up, and I just want to compete. So it'll be fun. I'm ready to put the shoes back on.
What are you thinking about this weekend's fights? UFC is back in Vegas. It's UFC 326, and actually, I finally did write it down. Before we bring that up, I did write it down. You went 9-2 for UFC 324, according to what I listened to, and you went 10-3 at UFC 325. So we're looking at 19-5 so far for the year.
Damn, that sounds pretty good. Not bad. I did give a lock of the week for UFC 325 though, and it was Fiziev lost, but I did make money that night because I bet big on Volk. I was like, there's no way Volk loses this one.
No, but I was in Florida sitting there watching that one and just thinking, I knew there was something about Rufy being able to pull together. I didn't know how much changing teams would benefit him, and all of a sudden his boxing looked to be a whole lot crisper.
He just hits hard too. I mean, Fiziev was doing well. I thought he won the first, and it was a competitive fight, but freaking Rufy just hits hard. He needed one. That's all he needed.
What do you think about this weekend, just in general, looking at the card?
In general, it's a lot of wide lines, but a lot of wide lines that I think might cover. There's a couple dogs I like too. Let me make this bigger. If I close this out, could you still see me or no?
I'm not sure, and I'm not sure if you can see. I think I was able to open.
Oh, sweet. There it is.
So
Yeah.
open that, I think I'm able to show us the main card and the title fight. So I'm not sure if you can see it from
I can
what I'm
see it.
showing.
I can see it. Yeah, I zoomed in. Nice. I don't have the laptop today, so
Awesome. Awesome. Well, not a big surprise to many people. I think that actually the gap's closed a little bit, only minus 230 now in the main event. Go the opposite way this week.
opposite
Max
way.
Holloway, Charles Oliveira. I think that it's going to be pretty surprising upset if we see Oliveira beat Holloway.
Yeah, I think Max is still that good. I'm gonna take Max this week. I might do a big bet on Max. I think he looks good and clears and covers his price here. No slight to Oliveira because I mean you can't slight Oliveira ever. He's one of the best. But I just think Max gets it done. He just keeps looking better and better.
I think that there's something to the Ilya loss came from having put on the size to go up to lightweight and then cutting all that muscle back down to featherweight. So I think his body is now in a position where he's ready to be a lightweight. And we saw in the Gaethje fight, he flourishes now at 155.
Oh yeah. He's a grown man at 55. He's big for 55. He was huge at 45, and I think he's filled out and big enough for 55. I think Charles grappling's always scary, and his wrestling's looked really good. When he out grappled Gamrot and out wrestled Gamrot that easy, that impressed me. That surprised me a lot. But I still think Max is good enough to stay away from the danger and piece him up on the feet pretty badly.
And the incredible thing about Max is outside of Volk, he's able to control the distance and pepper you with so many punches that guys don't even have that opportunity to really get that entry going to get to his legs for us to really see his takedown defense be tested. You're eating too many shots.
That is true. Ilya took him down, but he got right back up. But Ilya is also a really good wrestler.
We're talking about a world-class wrestler. I just feel like there's a difference in those takedowns, even though it's much improved. I'd go out on the limb and say it has to be something like a flying knee, an elbow weirdly in the clinch. It has to be something dynamic for Oliveira to hurt Max to probably catch him in a sub to get the victory here.
It's hard to hurt Max, too. It's damn hard. I mean, Ilya's the only one to do it, and that dude's got power for days. I think it's a good spot for Max. I think he wins this one. I think it's a fun fight, and I think there'll be a couple scary moments because that's how Charles fights. But I think Max gets it done here. I don't mind the price. I mean, it'd be better if it was even odds, but I mean, it's priced that way for a reason.
I am way more confident in Max than I am in Caio Bahalio, but Caio Bahalio coming in at as a minus 298, excuse me, almost 300 to the plus 240 of the former 1-2 division champion and Rainier de Ritter, two guys that are known for their grappling.
Yeah, this line is wide. I think Cal wins. I don't think I'm gonna bet him at that price, but I think he wins. That price is just I don't think it's worth it to bet that money line. And I don't think he gets it inside the distance either. And I hate betting a decision prop. So that might be one I stay away from. I'm picking Cal Barajo, but RDR, he could just do his Homer Simpson thing in there and just get it done. Those freaking long knees to the body. I just think Cal's footwork, he'll stay away and jab him up at range. And we saw his cardio tested last time in DeRitters. I know he had some stuff he said for that against Brendan Allen. But Barajo gets it done, but I do not like the price. And I don't think I'll be betting that fight.
I don't like the price. You get minus on the unders and on the point spread. I think that Caio's the better athlete and he has more tools, so he should be able to get this victory. If you see DeRitter gets the win, it's going to be one of those fights where I think Caio's just shaking his head at the end like, how did I let this get away from me?
Yeah, well, RDR's huge for middleweight, too. That's what people forget. When he was in there, he looks huge. His fight with Whitaker really impressed me. That was a damn good fight. I know Whitaker's a little past his prime, but he's still damn good.
If there was one of them going to 205 after that fight, I thought it would have been RDR, not Whitaker saying I'm moving up.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy to me because, I mean, he fought at welterweight.
Coming off the Ultimate Fighter Nation season, I think he won it at middleweight, dropped down to welterweight, and yeah, now all-time middleweight, but he's never been a big middleweight.
No, he's not a big middleweight. He's fast and just stays on the outside. Good kicks, got jab from anywhere.
I think the betting line has actually come down a bit since I did a show earlier today, since I did MMA After Hours. Rob Font is a plus 180 dog to the minus 218 favorite Raul Rosas. Are you jumping up and down to bet on Rob Font like people
Yeah.
were when I saw it
Oh
at
yeah.
plus 300 earlier today?
I wish I could have got it at that line, but I'm still taking Font. That I think this is priced opposite. I mean, if Rosas takes him down and happens to sub him early, yeah, whatever. Who celebrate? But if it gets extended, I don't think he has the cardio. I don't think he has the experience to. And Font's good. Font's good at saying. I mean, they say gatekeeper is a bad thing, but I think if you're able to be a gatekeeper in the UFC, that's damn good. You beat dudes that are up and coming, and I mean, he was right there in the top five forever. Is he still top five or?
Rob Font still in the rankings. I did this earlier today, so I should know. I believe that we are looking at Font is number 13, and Rosas, I believe, had fallen out of the rankings after being gone with injury for the last year. But I believe he was like 15, and Font was like 8, maybe, when they originally made this fight.
Okay. Yeah, I'm taking Font all day here.
That one is the interesting one. The year away, we know the potential. We know that the UFC has loved Raul, but this feels like a little much where outside of David Martinez, they're nearly Hall of Fame names that have beat Rob Font.
Yeah, yeah. And David Martinez looks good too. That's the thing.
Gregory Rodriguez, Bruno Ferreira, they are two dynamically different body types, both Brazilians, both thumpers. Bruno, plus 164 underdog. RoboCop at minus 198. He always feels like a guy to me that when you read out his accolades, the Brazilian jiu-jitsu, the wrestling, you've seen the knockouts like with Jack Hermanson. He feels like he has everything and then sometimes just doesn't put it together.
Yeah, I think he gets it done here. Ferreira has looked bad lately, I think, and his body looks less in shape. And I know he knocked him out last time, and it's weird betting on someone who's a 2-1 favorite getting knocked out. But I think I like RoboCop here, and I don't think that's too pricey.
Had a 3-fight win streak coming in overall, outpointed Marvin Vittori actually in his last fight. So
Such a weird fight. I think Vittori's cooked, but
that's why it's what do you take away from that one? It wasn't the most inspiring performance, but as you said, did Vittori have enough less in the gas tank to really push? On the prelim side, at least we're just looking at how DraftKings has it.
yeah.
Cody Garbrandt, Long Yao. I long for what Cody Garbrandt used to look like.
Yeah, I think he's still fast enough. He looked all right against Hani Barcelos, and Barcelos is obviously damn good. We'll take a minute. Dude, do you see who we get matched up with? Montel Jackson. He deserved a way bigger fight for the streak he's on.
Barcelos barely getting a nip at the bottom of the division where I think they feel that they've seen enough from Jackson. Barcelos is like in his mid-30s, so I think they're just real hesitant to ever commit to him.
Yeah, I know, but damn, I think he deserved a bigger fight than that. He's fun, and he looks like 50, but he's a badass. Yeah, but I think I'll probably take Cody as a dog here. I don't think the other guy's that great or nothing. Cody's way past his prime, hasn't looked great, but I don't think he looked too terrible against Hani Barcelos.
There's something to having experience, but you almost have to have the right kind of experience. And that's what I worry about with a guy like Long Zhao, who been around the South Korean MMA scene forever. How much is that valuable experience versus how much is that where you were in a lot of fights? You know what I mean? A
Yeah.
27-10 record. He's well rounded. I've heard he's durable, but you've lost to competition that we're never going to see at this level. So that gives me concerns where this is a matchup that Garbrandt should be able to win.
Yeah, and I don't even think Garbrandt has a terrible chin either. I think it's his defense. If his chin is there, is worse. He's been hit hard by a lot of tough dudes. I think I'm going to take a small dog shot on Cody here.
Small dog shot on Cody Garbrandt. Ricky Tercios, as I'm looking at it, versus Alberto Montes. Tercios minus 160. I mean, excuse me,
Tercios
plus
plus,
160. and it's a minus 190 for Alberto Montes. I believe this is Montez's debut in the
Debut.
UFC.
He had one Contender Series fight, an Anaconda second round, wasn't it, or something?
Yeah, and I've heard that he is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, a black belt in Taekwondo, and yeah, Doris and Anacondas are kind of his go-to on the ground.
Yeah. Ugh, I don't know. This one, I'm probably going to bet Tercio small. Nothing crazy, but I just want to see him get tested first, and this might be the time to fade him. I don't know if he's that great. And Tercios is solid, well-rounded. He's good everywhere. He's not like a crazy athlete or nothing, but he's good everywhere.
Tercios has been interesting. He got the runway off of winning the Ultimate Fighter. So you
Right.
kind of felt, what are they going to do to build him? And then he's had injuries. He's had inability to get going. And then his performances just haven't looked like indicative of somebody that's growing, that's doing more in the training room to expand his skills. It kind of looks like a guy that keeps going to the well in the same fashion.
Yeah, I feel that. He's I just don't know how good this other dude is, and the line's kind of wide for me.
Line is kind of wide on that one, but he is taking Tercios. We got Cody Duran versus Ninam Jorgel Tudembarel, who comes in as a minus one. Yeah, easy for me to say. A minus 135 favorite to the plus 114 dog. That's Durden. I heard that Tudembarel, there is some potential with him, and Durden will experience, which is, as we said, a strong suit. We kind of know that he is a beatable fighter.
Yeah, but Durden's good, man. I'm going to take another underdog here. So at least if 2 of 3 hit will be good. But I like Durden here. I think he's battle tested, good. I mean, he was whooping the shit out of Bruno Silva till he got caught. He looked good. And I mean, I feel like that happens in a lot of his fights. He looks really good till he doesn't. But but I still think he's good. He's a good wrestler. Good. His boxing's gotten a lot better, and he'll bite down and swing.
If he keeps this one standing, he has the advantage. Tudembarel, wrestling, judo, sambo listed on his bio, and he's an aggressive submission hunter. So we obviously know he's going to be looking to take that one to the ground.
Yeah, I like Durden's defensive wrestling too, especially at that weight class. Real scrambly guys. I want to take Durden. I like Durden here.
So I was wondering this. This is a card where you already feel like you're kind of liking the dogs.
Yeah, I guess so. Seems like it.
We keep going with guys on the lighter weight classes, 125. Sumadarchi, always willing to stand, trade, and bang, taking on Jesus Aguilar. And I believe as I look at my notes, Aguilar is something like 7 wins by submission.
Yeah, I think Sumerdaji is good enough to get this one done. I like him here. So no dog, not 4 dogs in a row, I guess.
I kind of like him. I don't know. Sumadarchi has been inconsistent, and
He
at least
is
Aguilar, one of his 2 losses is Tyra. So you got out grappled by like the top
one of the
grappler
best
in the division.
grapplers. Yeah. Yeah, I think Sumerdaji's still good here. I think he's got enough skill, and I still think could improve from fight to fight.
All right, I'm gonna have to remember this one for later. This is gonna be the Roofie Fazeev from last time.
I'm not as confident, but I still like it.
I don't know. I'm taking a pretty good sized dog on that one.
Nice.
Featherweight, Gaston Bolanos, Ji Yoon Lee. If nothing else, this will be entertaining. They are both strikers. From what I've heard, Lee, very technical, very composed striker. Gaston Bolanos, beautiful spinning back elbows. His holes are mostly in the grappling realm. So this is a fight that says fireworks.
That's gonna be a fun fight. This is another one that's like, ugh, do you want to pay freaking minus 278 for Lee? I think he might get it done, but he'll go in there and put his chin up in the air and throw too. Yeah, this one I'm not confident. I may take another dog shot here, but I'm just gun to my head. I'll take the dog shot, but if I was just picking picks, I'll take Lee to win.
So we'll write down Lee as your picks, and we'll ask you if you made money on that one next week or not.
Sounds good. Yeah, write them down on my picks, and then we'll see if I bet against my pick or not because the odds.
Lucas Fernandez, Rodolfo Bellato. We get a prospect at 205 pounds, and he's a minus 230 favorite to the plus 190 dog. Fernandez, I heard that his name is bipolar and that is for his fighting style, from that he can go to aggressive to backing off and being composed in an instant.
Oh, I didn't know that. I watched his Contender Series fight. He looks pretty decent. I think Bellato kind of sucks. He's got all the physical tools, but I think he'll quit when you give him the chance.
15-second knockout, a CFFC title. You know the weight of one of those. It's a pretty good resume starting out for Fernandez.
Yeah, I think Fernandez gets it done. I think the UFC's kind of sick of Bellato too.
I don't want to get too excited about Fernandez, but we just need prospects at 205 pounds. So
Yeah,
I
think
want him to be one.
Yeah, definitely do.
Dante Johnson, I think he gets the crown this week as we're going to
Biggest
scroll
favorite on the card.
Biggest betting favorite on the card. It's a minus 600 to the plus 440 Cody Brundage. And the bigger question that we probably both have is, how have we only done this 3 times and this is the second time you're going to bet against Cody Brundage?
I was going to say, I can't believe I'm saying this, but those odds are insane. I don't know if I'll bet Brundage, but Dante Johnson's not proven at all. But this is probably one I'll stay away from. I don't like it. Dante Johnson, we know nothing about him. He's a little bit of fights. I watched his Contender Series fight, but I mean, he's got power, and Brundage likes to get hit and quit, but those odds are kind of wild. I mean, Brundage could always win by DQ, you know.
Johnson, in that last effort, we saw him utilize some grappling. I think that was against the Decris Dumas. He even put Dumas on his back, and we did see the cardio issues that I think you would be concerned with a heavily muscled guy like that, but he managed to late in the fight.
I forgot that was an ugly fight.
So I have a little bit more, respect for him, and I feel a little bit better, but this is a fight where Brundage could put a less experienced guy on his back and just kind of gas him. That is a concern.
That is true. Brundage isn't a bad wrestler either. He just, I don't know. If he gets in trouble, he always likes to find a way out. But I just don't like betting this fight because I don't like ever betting Cody Brundage, and I think I'm not gonna bet a minus 600 favorite. Like, that's just dumb.
Well, as I'm torturing you and I'm keeping track of your picks, do you want Johnson or Brundage?
For picks, we'll take Johnson.
Okay, we'll go with the easy one on that one.
We'll go out on a limb and take the minus 600 favorite as a pick.
Don't bet that one, people. That is not the bet. Do not do it. Pull up on that one. Rafael Tobias, as it's listed at light heavyweight, is a minus 205 favorite to Dayar Nungaze, who is the plus 170 dog. And if you don't remember Dayar, he is the guy that has the nervous tick of the twitch with his eye. So immediately he was like patting at his eye in his debut to where you thought maybe he got poked or hit.
Why do I not remember that? Yeah, I looked at these guys, and honestly, I don't know too much about either of these guys, so I can't. For the first time, I'm completely stumped on them. I was also busy at work. All day. And, go ahead.
Sorry, Tobias Brazilian, just a bit more of a favorite.
Yeah. This one, I'm not gonna bet anything because I don't know anything. I'll just be shooting blind. Yeah, I normally like to go look in, especially when I do these picks, and go over everything. This is just off. I haven't even looked at I looked at the card earlier in the week before you even messaged me, but I haven't. I was busy and in practice, and I just got home, I showered, and was starting dinner, so I do not have a pick for this one because I do not know.
That's fine. We'll leave one in a void. That one not getting picked on. Either way, we're going to leave that one alone. Brandon Moreno last weekend and Loney Kavanaugh. What was your reaction?
I bet Loney Kavanaugh. So that was I thought he would handle. I think Moreno was more on a decline. At flyweight, it's hard to stay at the top, that getting older. Upper weight classes like heavyweight, light heavy, middle, you could be old and stick around for a while. But the first thing that goes is your speed. The last thing that goes is your power.
Moreno had beat Albazi and Urseg before that Tyra fight. I was shocked about the fall off, but from the moment they announced the Asum Alabaya fight. I didn't like the date. I didn't like the quick turnaround off of a bad performance, having to go in elevation in a place that's emotionally charged where you feel all that pressure that the show is riding on your shoulders.
Yeah. Yeah, Lonia is just good too. I mean, he has the best base for MMA. He got knocked out by Charles Johnson. Look at Josh Van. Just kidding.
So fast, that blitzing in and out style. I almost question his power and his ruthless efficiency watching some of his earlier fights where I was wondering, does he have that pop on it or was he more, not to be disparaging, but like David Martinez, where
Yeah.
Martinez landed a lot on Cheeto and you were like, it doesn't look like it though.
Yeah. I think he'll get exposed soon against one of the top level guys. He's got a fun kind. I don't know. It's kind of fun, kind of not. He's good. He's really good, but yeah, I bet Lonia Kavanaugh last week. I ended up like I broke like even on bets because I did some other props and stuff. But I also bet Cheeto as a dog. But yeah,
From
the main event I
someone,
got right though.
from someone that knows the world of combat sports, what was your reaction also to seeing, and I've brought it up a few times tonight, Olesander Usyk is going to fight Rico Verhoeven.
Yeah, like what? Isn't there other boxing contenders to fight? Like,
I'm glad to see it. It wasn't Logan Paul, I guess, or Canelo
I
Alvarez or
guess,
something. You know
yeah.
what I mean? At
At
least.
least, at least it wasn't that bullshit. Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't have that one on my bingo card for the year when he said, "Hey, I'm going to go box." I kind of thought that we'd see Rico Verhoeven on some random card, not randomly outdoor in front of the pyramids of Giza with the world heavyweight champion across from him.
Have odds released in that? Because he's probably like minus 3,000. Usyk.
Let's see, actually. Rico versus Usyk odds. Quick Google search. Oh yeah, Usyk is minus 2,500 to minus
Yeah.
3,000.
That was pretty
Get
close.
Rico for plus 1,000.
Yeah. If that means if you bet $100 on him, you lose $100.
At least it's still only $100, but you're dreaming. I could win 1,000. I could win 1,000. He just needs to land one big punch. Tyson Fury couldn't land one big punch.
Yeah. Usyk's one of the best, but I don't know why he's fighting him. Like, there's could be boxing is boxing sometimes.
The light heavyweight title is vacant. Yuri versus Olberg is interesting.
That's
And
a fun one.
And the fact that we're getting Alex versus John, I tentatively say it sounds like, fingers crossed, because if you say it too loud, I feel like we got a knock on wood. This is all exciting.
Oh, it's all pretty exciting. Yeah. I like Yuri in that fight. I don't even know the odds, but I think Yuri's just one of my favorites to watch in the UFC.
I wonder if he turned a corner or if he just hit a fuck it button when he knocked out Khalil. If it came together and he learned something, if not, because playing the long distance game like he was doing against Khalil, he was getting eaten up.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Carlos is so good at long distance. It's a tricky fight.
It's a tricky fight, but Yuri was trying to like work his head movement and distance and forms. Like, dude, that's not how you fight. Just go in there and jump and do random shit and you knock people out. He's good at what he does. It's controlled chaos. I don't even know if it's controlled or it's just chaos.
I think he's just a tsunami. He doesn't even know what he's doing. It's a little more uncontrolled and just kind of winging stuff out there.
Yeah, he's just got a will to win too. Like the Glover fight, that one was fun.
The Glover fight was fun. Getting that rear naked choke in the last second. He's had this Khalil. There is that true samurai warrior, never say die spirit from you.
Yeah, for sure. And he could eat a punch too. He's got a chin. It's just Pereira was such a bad matchup because Pereira hits hard.
He hits so hard and he's able to take away that leg so quickly and put Yuri at a place where he couldn't explode. And his explosiveness with those dynamic angles at how he attacks, I feel like is his best, like, surprising attack.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I know Oberg's on a good run and he's good, but I think Yuri will get it done. I don't even know the odds on that fight, but that'll be a fun fight regardless. Yuri's just because Yuri's not in a boring fight.
Yuri's never in a boring fight. That card is an embarrassment of riches after looking at what was announced this weekend. Still, everything's live and free on Paramount Plus. I don't know if we're going to look back and say that this card measured up, at least so far, on the face value of what we've seen from these other pay-per-views this year.
Yeah, the other numbered ones are pretty damn good. We'll see if this lives up to the hype. It's not a real title, but it's still a super fun fight. So,
any chance that you think Max Holloway jumps the apple cart and gets a world title shot with the win here?
55. Who's that? Oh, I mean, Armand's punching people on the side, so it seems like Dana don't like him very much, but he can. But I just think that would be kind of a useless fight again. We've already seen it. I mean, Ilya, Max. I think he could sit out and maybe wait and get one, or maybe one more. I don't know. I mean, there's always a chance. You never know. Diego Lopez got a title shot off one win after getting dismantled and got dismantled again. So you never know.
And we have all kinds of confusion at 45 now as to what's going to happen next. Hopefully in London, we get that clarified between Lerone Murphy and Mosar Evilov. At lightweight, I could see a scenario after this. Maybe Max sits out and they finally do Ilya versus Gaethje, and then Max gets the winner after that.
Yeah, true. But you can't skip Armand. He's the second best lightweight for sure. That's insane.
You could say that, but then he's also punching people at Real American Freestyle.
With the RAF events. Hey, that brought some good eyes to wrestling. That was kind of cool.
I think they already have it booked for a grappling match.
I saw that. They do.
Rematch. Armin's staying busy with his side quests like he's running around. This is GTA.
His life is GTA. That dude's loaded.
So you're right, but I think there's a real commercial network kind of back channels that Max Holloway has been keeping pay-per-views afloat right now, and Armin Saryukian's the troublemaker. I could see them, for better or worse, icing him, whether it's deserved or not, for a little bit longer.
Yeah, they can. Yeah, it's just they would be easy skip him for sure. They would if Ilya wouldn't have knocked Max out already. But I just think with that, it'll hold him back. Like no one wants to see that. Everyone wants to see fresh matchup, and I think it's the best matchup you can make in a division. Armand Ilya is a good fight.
When you read $15 million to Connor Ben from Zuffa Boxing for one fight, what do you think?
That's a lot of money. I want some of those.
Are we talking to James the boxer now instead of James the MMA fighter?
No. Working my boxing a lot, but no. I'll never be a pro boxer, pro fighter. I like to elbow and take people down and choke people out too much.
It's crazy to see these numbers thrown out in the fight game, though, now.
Pretty insane. I mean, money's there, the revenue's there, and they got the big backers and donors. And good for the fighters. That's good for the boxers. Hell yeah. Make your money.
Have you been watching? Have you been betting? Have you been indulging in Zuffa Boxing?
Not as much. I'll watch some stuff when it's on, but I wouldn't say I'm as invested. But it's still fun. I watch any combat sports when they're on. I'm excited
for weekend, everybody. Power Slap, BKFC, there's Zuffa Boxing, there's UFC 326, and we just got our bets and picks from James Romero.
All right, let's have another good week, guys.
We will check with you very soon, sir. You have a good one.
Right on. Have a good one, Micah.
James Romero joining us again tonight. His bets, his predictions. We're going to log those in. We're going to keep track of those. He will be back with us in April for UFC 327, where we can catch up, tell you guys how he did. And we're going to obviously preview that Yuri Prohaska versus Carlos Ulberg fight at that time. Huge shout out. Thank you to Chelsea Dodson, Power Slap Preview. Big shout out, appreciation, Santi Gonzalez. Thank you to Cristian Cabral. He tried everything. I'm not sure what was going on. We weren't able to make it happen. We'll probably get Nick Gonzalez on next week. Guys, we are going to have a Reign of Champions Empire Promotions full preview episode next week. And we're going to see what other great guests we can dig up once again. Robbie Ray Images, Robbie Ray Media, Barber Gabe's Fades, Barbers Are Us, Couldn't do this without you guys. Shout out Talk ABQ. MMA After Hours is up. Pro Wrestling After Hours will be up tomorrow. This week, Cage Minds Fight Hour, ESPN Radio Albuquerque, 1017 The Team, The Meme Machine with a more in-depth preview we're going to have of UFC 326. We're also going to talk about the state of the featherweight division, some recent comments from Aljamain Sterling. We're going to have Steve Garcia from the Jackson Wink Academy, and we're going to be talking about so much chaos in the world of MMA. CageMinds.com is going to be the place this weekend. A whole lot of fight results, a whole bunch of articles, a whole bunch of podcasts. Thank you guys for watching, and have a great night.